This video clip is to show you how you can apply the equations that you've written down in your notes to actually being able to calculate the mean rate of reaction based on a question you are given. As per normal with chemistry, a lot of the calculations can be tackled by using a stepwise approach. The approach that we are going to show you here is identical to the one that is set out in the worksheet that has been attached separately to this lesson and which you will be asked to work through once you have watched this video clip. So the first thing to do is to read your question really carefully because it will contain a lot of information that you will need in able to come up with a sensible answer. So example number 1 is calculate the mean rate of reaction when 40 cubic centimetres of hydrogen is produced in 10 seconds. So the first thing to do once you've read the question is to write down the equation. It's a really good habit to get into and something that we would expect to see in your workings out. So the equation here is mean rate equals quantity produced, because they have used the word produced in the actual question, divided by time. Then I'm going to look back at the question and substitute the numbers in, making sure that I substitute the correct numbers in the correct order. So mean rate. So quantity produced. Now it says here that it's 40 cubic centimetres of hydrogen produced. So the 40 goes at the top and the time always goes at the bottom. So 10 seconds here is the quantity that I require for my time. So 40 divided by 10. Then we want to do the calculation. So 40 divided by 10 equals 4. Then I come here to substitute units into the equation. Now, this is something that will either be given to you in the question or you may be asked to put in yourself for an extra mark. So our answers should always have units after them, and those units will come from your question. So if I go one last time back to my question here, it is calculate the rate of reaction when 40 cubic centimetres is produced in 10 seconds. So using that information, my units that I need to substitute in become cubic centimetres per second. And then in the last box here, I can put all of my work together. So the mean rate of reaction for this example is 4 cubic centimetres per second. And then that's that question done. So I can apply the same method to the next one here, which is calculate mean rate of reaction when 0.10 grams of magnesium is used in 20 seconds. So I'm going to write the equation. So I have mean rate equals quantity. This is actually used up this time because it says it in the question. So it's actually the quantity of my reactant used up divided by time. I'm going to make sure then I substitute the numbers in, reading the question carefully, so I substitute the right numbers in the correct way. So I have mean rate equals, so the quantity used up is at 0.10, and time of course always goes at the bottom, and the time for this question here is 20 seconds. Then you're going to do the calculation, so 0.10 divided by 20 equals 5 times 10 to the minus 3, or 0.005. Sometimes they will specify how they want you to state your answer, but for this example, either way would be absolutely fine. Then we're going to look really carefully at the question and substitute the units from the question into the equation. So here we have calculate mean rate of reaction when 0.10 grams is used up in 20 seconds. So my units are grams per second. So putting all my work together, it becomes 0.005 grams per second. Or you can have written it as 5 times 10 to the minus 3 grams per second. Okay. The last and the third example I'm going to show you is this one here, which is calculate mean rate of reaction when 75 cubic centimetres of carbon dioxide is produced in 30 seconds. So as by now, no shock here, we're going to write the equation. So we have mean rate equals quantity produced divided by time. Then I'm going to substitute the numbers in. So the quantity produced is 75. Time is 30. So it becomes 75 divided by 30. Then I'm going to do the calculation. You can either do it in your head or use a calculator depending on how confident perhaps you feel. So it becomes 2.5. And then we need to look really carefully at the question to make sure that we're using the correct units. So we have cubic centimetres produced in 30 seconds. So the units here are actually the same as our first example. They are cubic centimetres per second. And so if I put everything together for my last example, the answer is the mean rate of reaction would be 2.5 cubic centimetres per second. Now, what I'd like you to do then is make sure you feel comfortable with that. You can re-watch this video if you need to. However, if you feel confident, then please do tackle the examples that we have provided in the separate worksheet, which is attached separately to this lesson.